Wonderful. Thank you so much for the power and the controls. And thanks to everyone that's joining us here today. Let me share my screen and let's get this, share the presentation and we'll get this show on the road here. So first off, as mentioned, my name is Rich Weller. I work for the world's largest consulting organization that focuses exclusively on project management and PMOs. The name of our organization is MSO P CED. We've been around since 1991, as Lexi mentioned already, this presentation today is part one of a series of 3 different sessions that we plan to take you through. And the title of that overall series, as Lexi mentioned, is Transforming to a Digital PMO with PMI as well as Microsoft. And so we're going to give you some insights. You will notice that I'm just one of many here. Maybe I'm the ringleader or the troublemaker here that have drug in a number of experts. So if you hang with us for all 3 sessions, you will actually be able to meet a number of these subject matter experts. And me, I'm just kind of like the facilitator and the ringmaster, and you'll get to see and hear from some of these experts in specific areas. So again, I think that's kind of sets things at the stage. Oh, but there's one more piece of information I should probably give you. Our organization is a gold partner with Microsoft in project portfolio management, data analytics, as well as collaboration. So we are a gold partner of Microsoft and have been so for many years. I think it's probably getting close to 20 years. So, but don't quote me on that. But it's many years. All right, let's move forward now. So with respect to the 3 different sessions, you can see those 3 different sessions now here on the screen. The one we're going to hit today is we're going to provide you an overview of the PMI Citizen Developer Program. And then in our next session next week, we're going to provide an overview of what's called Microsoft Power Platform. And then in our 3rd session, we'll talk about driving digital transformation within your organization. So that's a little bit of a look ahead. And now the next slide that I'll tell you about or share with you is just a little bit about me. MBA, PMP, multiple project certifications, actually multiple agile certifications. I've been in the project management space for nearly 30 years. I've also been involved with Microsoft as well as PMI for again, close to 20 years. There's a lot of bullet points here. Again, as you look at this list, I'm not about to read this list, but do note, given the fact that I've been in the project management profession for all this time, I have worked with a number of organizations, have acquired a number of different certifications. Not about to read through this list, but I wanted to call out just a couple of them just to say, like, hey, I didn't just walk in off the street. I do hold a couple of certifications from Microsoft with respect to Microsoft Project and Project Server. You can see them listed here. And then also I've acquired the micro credentials or this that are related to the 3 different PMI Citizen Developer offerings that we're going to learn about today. So you can see them there. In addition to that, a number of other things along the way. But that's enough about setting the stage at a high level. A little bit about me as your ringmaster, and where we'd like to go now is actually to dive in to this part number 1, which is the Citizen Developer Overview. And as part of this, I'm going to bring in my Chief Citizen Developer technical guru, Mr. Chris Thurman, and he will be my partner in crime today as we share the information about the Citizen Developer Program with you. So Chris, are you there, my friend? If you are there, Chris, we're not able to hear you. Hey, Chris, any luck? Still not able to hear you, my friend. Hey, Lexi, are you able to give us any troubleshooting tips here? All right, Chris, I'm going to let you work on your,
Can you hear me
audio. Yeah. I'm not sure we had a plan B there. I was going to do the best I could. All right, we got you now, Chris. Thank you. Whew, you scared me, bud. Okay, so Chris, now that we can hear you, my friend, I'm going to kind of turn it over to you. Maybe you could give a little bit of a bio about yourself and then
now?
walk us through the agenda.
Yes, sure. I've been a consultant at MSO P CED for about 5 years now. I'm working primarily on automotive software related projects. I have a bachelor's in game design and a master's in project management. I have a couple of different certifications, PMP, Scrum Master, as well as Release Train Engineer. And finally, I have a Citizen Development Practitioner micro credential. Much like what you alluded to, we'll dive a little bit deeper on what each of those micro credentials are and what specifically is a practitioner and the different things that goes along with that.
Sounds good.
Moving on to agenda, we have a couple topics we're going to bring you today. Basically, an overview of what citizen development is, as well as what it means to be a citizen developer. Finally, those PMI offerings. There are 3 PMI offerings: Foundation, Practitioner, and Business Architect. We go into what each of those mean and how you would achieve each of those micro credentials. And finally, this is what me and Rich spent a lot of our time creating based on PMI's own tools. We created some like a single page lifecycle model and a toolbox that brings all this information together in a much more concise package. And lastly, we'll take any questions.
All right, thanks, Chris. So I'll move us forward here into that topic number 1, which is kind of providing an overview of citizen development. So let's give you a few bullet points here with respect to citizen development. When it comes to the process, right? You know, we've got waterfall. We've learned about agile. Well, the process that we talk about when it comes to system development is what we call hyper-agile or hyper-agile 2.0. And so you'll learn about that as we move forward here. When it comes to the applications that we actually work with, that we build our solutions with, if you're not familiar with that acronym of LCNC, that stands for low code, no code. And I'm certain that if we were to unmute the mics and we were to ask people or engage with people around, hey, have you worked with this type of tool? Have you worked with that type of tool? What you'll find is those that you already have experience with some of the tools or technology that we would consider low code or no code. And you'll see we'll flash those up, or we'll flash some examples of those up in just a couple minutes. And then also, I'm sure there's many people on this call that that have built dashboards, that have kind of created some simple databases, and that have leveraged some existing technologies to build workflows. And that's the kind of applications we're talking about building, leveraging these low code or no code technologies. And so that's about citizen development at a high level. So now let's talk about the benefits that citizen development brings. This concept of citizen development brings. What does it bring? So one, it allows for innovation and efficiency, where we can have people that are on our front line, like our people that are understand the current processes that they're working with, and they're our frontline workers. They're not hardcore developers. They're people working in functional departments that understand how their department works, or how their group works, understands the process, and they're able to bring to life solutions leveraging this technology. And what that does, that helps us by reducing wait times, by saying, hey, we need help here. We want to build this solution or build this application, and submitting a request over to an IT department. Hey, we can get started. We can leverage our low code, no code tools. We can get started with that minimal viable product and get it up and running, see it, touch it, and determine, hey, does that meet our needs fully? And allow us to start giving value or getting value from the solution that we turn right around and put back into our organization. Again, it provides cost effectiveness with a solution like that, because it has less IT involvement, and maybe this is a little bit of a typo here. We still have IT involvement along the way because we need to keep them abreast of some of the solutions that we're building. But again, it can be more cost effective to allow us as those frontline workers, as citizen developers, to get a good running first start at building the solution, or maybe just building the solution that meets our total needs on our own. It allows for us to expand our company intellectual properties, and it also allows us to create our own unique products and services. And it also, following this citizen developer approach, because this is one of the big concerns in the world today in larger organizations, like, hey, I'm scared of letting all these small little projects, these little applications being built, running rampant out there in my organization. I'm afraid we're going to create a shadow IT, and this is what our CIOs and our executives are worried about. And that's, I'm going to give you an analogy here, because I know many people on this call have been in the project management space before Agile crept in and became a part of our world. And the initial thinking when we were first learning about Agile was, oh, there's no control here, there's no planning, we just go do whatever. And for those of you that have learned more about Agile, maybe gotten a Scrum certification or been following that Scrum methodology, you're like, wait a minute, now I really know more about it. We probably do more planning inside of a Scrum project than many traditional projects. And this is the same analogy here. Like, you initially would think, oh, we're going to have all of these applications that are out there running rampant in the wild, and there's no oversight of IT. However, with our citizen developer practitioner toolbox and some of the solutions, there's the approaches that you'll see brought to light inside of this presentation, you'll realize that we're keeping IT, we're taking IT along with us on this ride and keeping them aware, so to prevent that shadow IT. So the next question is, well, who's a citizen developer? Who is a citizen developer? And you can see this slightly formal definition here. It's anyone who uses or will use one of those low-code, no-code solutions for your daily activities. And already, probably many of you are leveraging the Office 365 applications online on the cloud. You can see here a snapshot of a number of those applications. And if you're using any of these, or if you're using some of these, then and you're using those kind of on a daily basis to help you, then you're moving in that direction of the low code, no code solutions. And to take this a little bit farther forward, because as part of this series, we mentioned that we're going to talk about Microsoft Power Platform. Now I'm going to go on record right here. This may get me kicked out of the whole webinar and the whole project management profession, but I'm going to say something right now. So I've been working with these tools for 4 years, or as they've come online. I've been working with Power Automate for like through 3 years, and I'm going to say something. It's taken me 3 years to come up with this concept, and I'm going to tell you right now, 3 years worth of citizen development, 3 years worth of working with low code, no code tools. So here's what I'm going to say. Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, right? All those products. Well, guess what? So does everybody else. In today's world, what we used to call Microsoft Office is kind of like a high school diploma. And what I say, in today's world, you should learn about Power Apps, Power Automate, Power BI, Power Virtual Agent, and Power Pages. And if you learn about these things, that's more like having a college degree in today's world. I'll leave it with that. You might not ever have me back, but that's what my thinking is today, and that's part of this series. So again, back to this, who is a citizen developer? One thing I wanted to make you aware of is this is coming from, you'll notice this screenshot's coming from Gartner. You can see right here. So these are the low code applications. You can see a number of organizations that are out there. Hopefully you're aware of the Gartner Magic Quadrant if not pretty handy on different areas, but this is low code, no code. You can see a number of different organizations that fall into the category of low code, no code applications. And then I will highlight that there's Microsoft sitting as one of the leaders, and again, why we are bringing this as part of this presentation. Oh, and if you're not a Microsoft fan, which I know we all are here, there's tons of other applications that are out there that would fall into this low code, no code area. You can see a screenshot here, and again, this is the formal definitions and what we say, hey, actually, anyone and everyone can be a citizen developer, just picking up these tools and making use of them in your day-to-day. So what are the benefits? Let's give you some benefits now. The benefits of a citizen developer to the organization, you get it. Like, right, we can accelerate our new product development. We don't have to submit a big official IT type project and get in the queue and all that. We can get a good running start. That allows us to be efficient and efficient with respect to automating our processes and our workflows. It also, again, helps drive innovation, reduces costs, and also you can see that last bullet point there, which we've found is it helps drive that digital transformation, right? So that to the benefit to the organization, to our IT, our friends in the IT department, frees up the IT capacity so they can work on those harder, more complex things. We mentioned already that our following a citizen developer, the practitioner lifecycle, you'll see we are bringing IT along the way to reduce that shadow IT. Again, it helps make sure the IT is aware of what we're working on and ensuring that we are doing things the correct way with respect to security and compliance, helps with our reusability and increases transparency. And then from an individual perspective, think about it from an individual's perspective, go back to that, like, hey, knowing these tools is like having a college degree in today's world. Separates you on a resume from all those people that just say, yeah, I know Word, PowerPoint, and Excel. Well, if you say, I know Power Apps, Power Automate, and Power BI, whew, now you're at another level. But again, it also helps with the culture of the company, right? If you empower people and give them the tools and the technology and some guardrails to work within, they get autonomy. They get up each day excited about going in and making a difference and being able to move things rapidly. And it helps, allows our people, when we say developers here, we're talking about our citizen developers, allows them to make changes to their applications in real time, speeds up the whole process of turning ideas into, this says into apps, but I'm going to say turning ideas into value that we bring back through the apps and provide to our organization. Recognition, right? Recognition and career opportunities. And the last bullet point there is democratizes development for our non-professional people, gives them the skill set, capability, and a framework to work within to build these solutions, apps, using more modern technology. And so with that brings me to the end of this overview section. And now what I'll do is I'll stop sharing, Chris, and can I turn the hands over to you, my friend, and let you continue the journey for us?
Sure, no problem. Thanks, Rich. Let me just go ahead and share my screen now. Okay. So now we're going to go into PMI offerings. So as we mentioned, PMI has basically 3 offerings for the citizen development. The first one is Foundation. Basically, Foundation gives you a definition of what citizen development is. It's mostly that overview that Rich provided a couple minutes ago, as well as what they call idea generation 2.0. Because these citizen development projects need to be hyper-agile, which Rich alluded to, which means moving at an incredibly faster space, faster than what agile typically is. A normal sprint is about 2 weeks long. For these projects, They tend to move faster in order to deliver that value and that application for the workers faster. PMI offers a 90-minute course, and you get a citizen development foundation micro-credential once you finish taking that test at the end of the 90 minutes. If we move up a level, the practitioner, which is the micro-credential I have and what primarily this presentation focuses on, and the tools and the methods that we will give you later on. That course is 6 to 8 hours long, and you also get a certification at the end of that, a micro-credential for citizen development practitioner. We provided that link in the presentation. That goes into the different methodologies that are being used for citizen development. It tells you specifically how to manage hyper-agile software development projects. And lastly, they give you a lot of tools and different case studies on different people that use citizen development in their everyday life, on their work projects, and how they were able to successfully incorporate those tools and techniques shown in the practitioner course. Lastly, we have a business architect. This course was created that primarily does a overview of the entire citizen development process. They give you a governance model on the different rules and regulations that organizations need to use to implement citizen development. They show you a maturity model in which will give you a reference to how mature those developments are to give to other people of the organization. And finally, there is a scalability method. When you're working on something at that level, you may be able to scale some of those projects to fit your other business needs.
Hey, Chris, if I could pause you for just a second here and interject. In our third session, which is targeted for March the 15th, we will be talking about driving digital transformation in your organization, and we will have a callback to this citizen development maturity model that Chris was referencing here, that is part of the business architect, citizen developer business architect micro credential or course. So I just wanted to make that connection there, Chris.
Thank you, Rich. Also, this course is 6 to 8 hours long as well. You will get a micro credential for being a business architect in citizen development, and we provide a link to that. And right now we'll go into practitioner in depth. And actually for that, we will go straight to PMI's website. As you can see here, I am on the main PMI Citizen Developer page, and this page itself has a lot of great information on it. Much like what was described earlier in this presentation, beginnings, you can have what is citizen development, what does low code, no code mean, what Rich alluded to a couple of minutes ago. How can you be a part of the low code, no code movement? Pretty much what this presentation is on is how anyone can just pick up any of the project management courses that PMI offers and start being a citizen developer. This video goes into a better overview on how you can be a citizen developer. More great tips and tricks for citizen developer and leaders. It shows you great aspects on why you can and should do it. And this section goes into also what Rich spoke about, some of the citizen development courses. You have foundation, practitioner, and business architect, like what you saw a couple minutes ago with Rich. Like I said, I took this citizen developer practitioner course, which was 6 to 8 hours long, and we'll actually go into more detail about what this course is. When you go inside in more details, of the citizen developer practitioner, it tells you what each and every one of these modules are. There is 8 modules for this citizen development course. The first one gives you an introduction of what citizen developer is and how you can become a citizen developer. The second course teaches you about the hyper-agile lifecycle. The third one is the idea 2.0, which is used for this hyper-agile lifecycle. In hyper-agile, they want you to do the citizen development projects quicker. And for that, they have different tools and techniques in order to generate those ideas, in order to foster great team growth and growth in that citizen developer project. Next, you have the suitability assessment, which makes sure you are asking the right questions on if you should move forward with your citizen development project or not, and if it will be a fast track, which basically means if you're going to develop it yourself, if you should just hand the project off to IT because it's too advanced for citizen development, or if both IT and yourself work together as a hybrid approach. Business analysis and design focuses on how you get your citizen development app to work with your organization. Same with project risk and enterprise requirements. Just like you have a normal project, you have assumed risk and requirements that are needed. The same is for citizen development projects. The last two will give you a better idea on how you can successfully deploy your app. The whole goal is that all these apps that you create as a citizen developer helps you not only for your day-to-day work, but maybe in your personal life as well. And the last section of this citizen developer course is to review everything in preparation for the micro-credential exam that you will be taking and hopefully pass the development practitioner exam. Some of the other resources that PMI gives you, which me and Rich thought would be a great value to show you, is right here under PM resources. They actually help you focus on a project management citizen development project. It tells you different information on how you can get started on and how easy it is to become a citizen developer. They also show you a great step-by-step guide on getting started with citizen development. The one thing that we wanted to show you, which is directly at the end of this page, is the suitability scorecard. Now, the suitability scorecard is something that is shown during the citizen development practitioner course that helps determine if your project that you are working on will benefit from citizen development. You will just go ahead and answer these easy and simple questions where let me go ahead and just put some on here just to show. And based on the score, once you add it all together, you will get this guide right here that tells you if your app is strong for citizen development, which is highlighted here, or if you are in the middle, kind of like what I mentioned before, that hand in hand with IT. And finally, if citizen development is not the ideal solution. Again, this is on the citizen development PM resources page. It is a great guide to help you get a jump start on if your project will benefit from citizen development.
And so with that, Chris, I think that brings us to the next slide or the end of our presentation demonstration. We can just a reminder, this is the first part of a 3-part series. We provided you a high-level overview of PMI's citizen developer offerings or program, a little bit of insight into what a citizen developer is and how they add value to our organization. And coming up next week, we will provide you a high-level overview of that the Microsoft Power Platform. You saw a screenshot there earlier of the different applications that are part of that Microsoft Power Platform. So we'll spend a little bit of time touching on each one of those different applications and providing you some insight as to, or some examples as to some of the citizen developed solutions that we've built as part of our organization, leveraging each one of those different applications. And then finally, that the third session on the 15th, we'll talk about how to drive digital transformation in your organization, because this is a journey that we've been on for the last 2 or 3 years. It's just not only transferring our own organization internally, but helping our clients move to more of that, what we'll call digital PMO. And then in week 3, we'll go into, or session 3, we'll go into a little bit more details around what is a digital PMO and how do we get there. So with that, I think, Lexi, we've made it to the end of our scripted presentation. We'll absolutely